Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? Mary.
280 people burned alive, and you've been singing about it. A torture device that crushes your fingers one by one, hidden inside a nursery rhyme that millions of kids sing daily. I'm talking about Mary, Mary, quite contrary right now. Once you hear this truth, you can never unhear it. Let me break down the lyrics for you real quick. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells and pretty maids all in a row. Sounds innocent, right? Just a cute girl with her garden? Yeah, that's not even close to the truth here. That Mary is actually one of England's most brutal queens. Mary the First, born 1516, crowned queen in 1553. In just 5 years, she ordered 280 people burned alive. Their only crime was being Protestant instead of Catholic. Men, women, and children tied to stakes and set on fire, burned in front of crowds just because of their faith. That's exactly why history calls her Bloody Mary today. Here's the wild part that nobody really talks about, though. Back then, talking bad about the Queen meant losing your head. So regular people hid the truth inside a children's song. Pretty genius move when you think about it, honestly. Now let's decode every single line of this rhyme together. This is where things start getting really dark and twisted. Mary, Mary, quite contrary, contrary means stubborn and defiant. Her dad was Henry VIII, the king with 6 wives. He split England from the Catholic Church and made it Protestant. But when Mary became queen, she decided to reverse everything. She wanted to drag all of England back to Catholicism, and she was willing to do it by any means necessary. The price of her stubbornness was hundreds of innocent lives. How does your garden grow? Here comes the plot twist. That garden isn't about flowers and sunshine at all, actually. The garden is a graveyard where her victims were buried. It kept growing because more people kept dying every single day. New graves appearing constantly throughout her entire bloody reign. Now brace yourself, because this next part gets really disturbing. Silver bells. These aren't flowers or Christmas decorations at all. According to historians, silver bells was a torture device's name. A metal clamp with ridged edges placed around your finger. They would turn a screw, slowly crushing each knuckle completely. You either confessed to whatever they wanted or you passed out. And they did this to all 10 fingers, one by one. Cockle shells. Okay, this one I almost didn't want to include. Cockle shells was allegedly another torture device from that era. It was designed to attach to the victim's private areas. I'll let your imagination fill in the rest of those details. Pretty maids all in a row messes with me the most. There are actually 2 different theories about what this means. First theory says maids were women lined up to be burned. They waited in rows for their turn at the stake. Second theory says maiden was slang for a Scottish guillotine. So pretty maids could mean execution machines all lined up ready. Either way, those pretty maids are representing death and execution. So why would anyone hide this horror in a kid's song? The answer is actually pretty simple. It was for survival. One wrong word about the Queen and you'd be next to burn. But who's gonna suspect a silly little nursery rhyme, right? It was the only way regular people could push back safely. They could remember the horrors and pass them down through generations. When Mary finally died, the song didn't die with her, though. It got handed down generation after generation, all the way to now. Millions of kids still sing it without knowing the real meaning. Now I gotta keep it real with you about something important. Not every single historian out there agrees with this interpretation. Some say Mary could actually refer to Mary, Queen of Scots. The pretty maids might be her 4 famous ladies in waiting. Other scholars argue it's literally just a song about gardening. No hidden meaning, no dark backstory, just flowers and gardens. The rhyme was first published in 1744, almost 200 years later. So maybe the whole dark backstory is just an urban legend. But here's the thing that I keep coming back to. If you lived 500 years ago under a murderous queen's rule, and you wanted to call her out without getting executed yourself, turning it into a children's song is exactly what you'd do. That's not a theory, that's just basic human nature. And guess what? Mary Mary isn't even the only one. Ring Around the Rosie might be about the Black Plague. That plague wiped out 1/3 of Europe's entire population. London Bridge is falling down has an even darker theory behind it. Some say it's about burying children alive inside the bridge's foundation. Jack and Jill might be about the French Revolution's executions. King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette both got their heads chopped. The lullabies we all grew up with might be hiding dark history. Some of the worst tragedies in human history hidden in plain sight. Just let that sink in for a moment right now. So now you finally know the truth about this song. Next time you hear someone singing Mary Mary quite contrary, are you gonna picture a cute little garden with flowers? Or the screams of innocent people being burned alive? Drop a comment below and tell me which theory you believe. And honestly, would you still sing this song to your kids?
Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your God